Welcome to KOKOON. I'm Lane Sue Weinberg, and I am the founder and designer of KOKOON Women's Wear based in Minneapolis. Come on in. So this is our studio warehouse. My husband and I have been doing this business since 1987. We just started our 34th year, and we've been in this building for about 11 years. So we have our front offices here, and I'll just kind of give you a quick peek at our office. With my office, I'll just warn you, I'm a very messy person. So anyway, I keep a smaller pattern table in here. I like working on a cork top. Right now, everything, of course, is taken over by working on masks for consumers. We also have our masks that we're designing that we donate to medical workers as well. Anyway, so I personally like working with patterns by hand. I like the feel of paper. I need to feel it to conceptualize things. But once I get my original pattern and we do the testing, I won't digitize into my CAD system until we get the fit the way that I want it. So it might be multiple times of adjusting patterns, cutting a sample, retesting, fitting it, and over again until we get that process the way that I want it to fit. And then after that, then I use my digitizer. So I digitize all the pieces into my CAD system. I have a very easy to use CAD system. We've had it for quite a long time now. And when my husband first convinced me to sit through the demonstration of this at the LA Textile Show many years ago, I was like, no, I want to do it by hand, And he's like, no, Lane, honestly, it is just click and point. So it's a really great, easy to use system. I really love it, and it probably saved our marriage. But anyway, so then once I get a pattern digitized in, so like right now, of course, we're working on masks, so let's just look at let's look at a dress pattern. Oh, here. This is the dress I'm wearing. So anyway, so then once I get the pieces digitized in, then I can grade for all the different sizes. It just saves a lot of time. And then once you do that, once we get all the sizes digitized, then you can there's that same dress. Then you can put the pieces into your marker, and this figures out your fabric usage. You can lay the pattern pieces any way that you like. Try to get them to fit the best way on the width of your fabric. This is a terrible pattern for fabric usage, as you can see. But anyway, that's part of the fun and the challenge. And then I just send it over to the digitizer, and then it prints out. So that's how I cut my patterns. And I know my desk setup is a little funky, but it's because we photograph this way sometimes, so I kind of need to have a little walkway here, because this it's a concrete building, and this is one of the only rooms with decent light in it. So anyway, so that's that. And then this is the warehouse portion. So I'll just give you a quick little tour here. So this is my merchandising wall. Again, I'm not using it very much right now because our focus has shifted so much. But when I'm in the middle of designing like an entire collection and it's constantly changing, this is a really beautifully visual way for me to see what's in the line, what's coming up next, how things coordinate, that type of thing. So this is our sample sewing area, and actually as of I think the middle of last year, the beginning of last year, we did move our production from Los Angeles back here to Minneapolis, and we are doing mostly cut to order styles, super limited styles. We always were a small batch company. Well, I mean, really for the most of our career we were. But now it's much more specialized, and so it's kind of great, and it's kind of evolved back to what we started as. And then we just have some storage back here. And then this is just my sample cutting area. And again, please excuse the mess. We've been kind of in this long process of trying to consolidate and clear out a lot of our fabrics and inventory for quite a while now. But anyway, so here's where we do our sample cutting and our small batch cutting, and then we just have a little shipping and receiving area right up here. So that's kind of the tour of the warehouse, and if you want to have a little talk about the origins of KOKOON and our history, I'm going to take you to our little archive wall. Okay, so this is our archive wall. It's not everything, but it'll give you a pretty good little snapshot of the history of KOKOON. So I actually started KOKOON with my husband. He was my boyfriend at the time. I was a design student at the University of Minnesota, and I actually dropped out after my sophomore year to start the company, and started with just a couple consignment stores locally, and then my boyfriend, Richard, husband, actually hit the road and took a road trip down to Florida with my first little wholesale sample line, and came back with our first wholesale orders. And so that was kind of the start of it. And so we did we had some dumb luck right off the bat, and got into some major department stores, major chain stores, catalogs, that type of thing, from everywhere, everything from high end to moderate. So this is just an ad from a Macy's Juniors catalog that we were a part of, and we did a lot of lace. I mean, to give you another reference point, we started the same time as Hanky Panky started. They had the foresight to go into thong underwear, and and we didn't. And we actually made thong underwear at the time, and ours was better than theirs. But anyway, if you want to take a closer peek right here, so that was, we realized many years later that our model for that was Cameron Diaz. Anyway, so that's kind of give you a little bit of an idea of our history. After 9/11 happened, of course, business was terribly affected by that, and ours was as well. And we made a shift at that time. We moved away from wholesale, and we developed a home party type sales model, and that was really wonderful for many years. We had great sales representatives all over the country. We just worked with really wonderful women, and it was just a very fun way to do business. As retail started to change over the last couple years, we phased that out, and now we just do the direct sales. And I just wanted to touch on the idea of ethical manufacturing and sustainability and what that means. And so for me, of course, we've been doing this so long that sustainability is kind of a newer concept, and it's a newer marketing term as well. And for me, it was always about ethical manufacturing, and we've always produced in the United States. We've always had very long relationships with the people that we work with, whether they are a contractor or a fabric supplier, our employees, and I just always believed that the workers are the talent of the company, and they are what is behind the product, and you need to treat them properly, you need to pay them properly. And so for me, that's always been a big issue. I remember when H&M, when the whole buzzword of sustainability started coming around, walking by an H&M window, and they had all these mannequins in their windows with t-shirts that just had the word sustainability stamped on them. And I just was like, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, so I think the word sustainability can be so confusing for people. I personally find it very confusing because it is a concept that a lot of people can hide behind, But also, it's also a good opportunity for people to say, okay, well, I can't do everything, but I can do this part of my business in a sustainable way. And maybe that is through how they do their fabric sourcing. Maybe it's in how they do their ethical manufacturing. We have, pretty much most of our fabrications have always been synthetics, and but probably for the past, I would say maybe 20 years, we work primarily, maybe 80% of our fabrics are dead stock fabrics that we purchase. And then the other thing that I will say to that is, if you're confused as to if you are supporting an ethically made product or a product that is sustainable and you're not sure how much research you should do into it, first of all, if it's an individual maker, they don't have the means to produce something that unethically. They are hand making those products. So you're getting something that is made with love, by that individual. So purchasing from individual crafters is an amazing gift for yourself to own something that's incredibly unique, and also to the maker. But also just being aware, if it is from a company that you're purchasing, being aware of where they're producing their goods. Obviously, if a company is telling you that they are a sustainable company or an ethically manufactured product, and they're choosing to take their production to a country where there are no labor laws and there are no human rights laws, that should probably be your first clue that maybe they're not doing things properly. So anyway, but everyone just does the best that they can, and people can't be perfect, but it's been so inspiring over the past, I don't know, maybe 5-10 years to see this whole movement come up with younger people who actually are shunning the Forever 21s and the H&Ms, and they're choosing to invest wisely with products that are meaningful to them and that are either vintage or remade or handmade. It really speaks to the younger generation and the effort that they are taking for conscious consumerism. Anyway, so that's what I have to say, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. But I just so appreciate this opportunity to be included with all of the ethical and sustainable manufacturers and designers that are being included in this event. Thank you so much to We Are Threaded. I know you guys have worked so hard to put on a really wonderful event for your attendees, and then making the shift when it could not be an in-person event to make this available to everybody online. Anyway, you all have a really wonderful afternoon, and we hope to see you around.